All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game Hitman versus HawK. This game taking place here on Tide Hunters. On the top left-hand side of the map, we have HawK spawning as the blue human. On the bottom right-hand side of the map, we have Hitman spawning as the yellow orc. Let's go ahead and break things down in this orc versus human matchup, where it looks like it's going to be a blade master with grunts going up against most likely an archmage. Wait for the heroes to start training, and it is an archmage going up against a farseer. Alright, so no Blade Master, Hitman opening things up with the Farseer, and now getting down that second Orc Burrow first. No Voodoo Lounge as of yet, and also no War Mill. So Farseer grunts with a second Orc Burrow, and then the tech to tier 2. So a little bit of an interesting call there to get that second Orc Burrow and also tech to tier 2 in that particular order, as the Giant Sea Turtle now battling it up against the Farseer. Up on the top left-hand side of the map. Hello, Norman 8. Let's look at the Archmage moving out with footmen. We are going to be looking at some militia being called over as HawK wants to set up an expo. There's that second water elemental being placed down, the Merle Snarecaster, and well, accompanied by this little caster in the back who does give in a bunch of heals, but with so much medium armor, this militia will be able to clear out this creep camp with relative ease. Now, we'll look at the Farseer here. Farseer has taken down both sets of giant sea turtles and sea turtle hatchlings, and getting a dual Cloak of Shadows. Not particularly useful here, as the militia are now going to try and fight back against all of these units. You can see a grunt unable to really challenge, as we see a lightning shield now bouncing around and able to finish off one of those peasants. Archmage now comes across here trying to put in a little bit of pressure. Footman actually in the mix of everything, may be forced to back up, as we see that the peasants are off to the north, not really building anything as of yet. Couple of grunts now trying to engage here, but without the help of the Archmage, these four grunts are just not going to be able to hold up against these spirit wolves and the heroes. Footman trying to retreat all the way back here. Expansion now being placed down as the Archmage. Well, does have Brilliance Aura and should be able to defend here nicely as soon as there's some sort of tower. One Footman able to retreat all the way back, as the Farseer now comes back on the other side again, ready to put in more pressure. No arcane tower. One peasant, another peasant getting taken down, as the Farseer just continuing to lob those attacks here, and gonna perhaps take down another peasant in the back again. There, well, nope, it looks as though, yeah, the peasant will end up getting taken down. More damage getting racked up here, as the Footman trying to chase the grunts away. A lot of two-pronged attacks heading all across the place here, as the Farseer is unable to make it inside the base, trying to test the waters, put in pressure, as well as it looks as though another peasant could end up getting taken down. One peasant, low on hit points. There's another militia down to 4 hit points. He's going to get taken down. There goes another peasant as well, as Hitman is really just making his opponent pay in the cost of a bunch of peasant workers. Archmage now trying to test the waters here, trying to put in pressure, as we see the tech to tier 2 has already completed. Tauren Chieftain getting added in alongside a Spirit Lodge here. Hitman doesn't have, interestingly enough, any peons on lumber right now, so Hitman is a little bit lumber locked. Well, one peon right there, as we're looking at the water elemental. Is it going to get denied here? We should be. No, does not get denied. Ends up just turning into a puddle, as the Farseer is still off on the other side of the map, doing quite a bit of damage. Farseer needs to test the water, or retreat back here, as he doesn't have enough mana to go after all of those poor peasants that are in the back here. Nope, I take it back. Has enough mana now, and ready to, chase down this Footman here. Another Footman now getting taken down. These peasants are not going to be safe. They're going to perhaps try to hide on the inside here, as new militia now being called over. The Expo is now already up. Arcane Vault now getting completed. We should be looking at a Scroll of Regeneration, and once all of the other peasants come nearby, maybe even a Clarity Potion, as the Archmage is definitely behind in terms of, experience. 2.8, actually not too bad, but the Farseer has really forced his opponent to spend a large amount of his extra gold currently on all of these peasants here. We're looking at additional 19 workers, with a large number of them constantly being replaced. Tauren Chieftain out here on the battlefield, opening things up with Endurance Aura first. Going to try to tech to tier 2. Farseer now looking to retreat all the way back home. Sitting at level 2. Is he, well, does have Cloak of Shadows. Could have hidden right there. But then again, the Archmage, well, doesn't have any Dust of Appearance. Tauren Chieftain now trying to retreat back here. We can see this Snapper, this level 5 Snapper, gonna get cleaned up. Farseer needs to get healed and retreat as we're trying to perhaps steal that last hit there, and level 3 will be given to the Archmage instead. Archmage sitting at level 3 picks up Boots of Speed from the shop. Also picked up a Tome of Intelligence. There's a number of Illusion footmen in this fight as well. Both sides fighting their way through. Shamans unable, well, could purge down some of these water elementals here. Not quite sure why they haven't done that yet, as that could give enough experience for the Farseer to get to level 3. A lot of footmen in this chase here. Grunts trying to retreat back. 42 supply compared to 38, as Hitman being forced to, well, run all the way back home. Shamans are showing up to the fight here. Are we going to be looking at any of those purges? There's one purge taking down a water elemental. We could be looking at another purge here once there is enough mana, but no, the water elementals are getting in plenty of damage here as the Farseer does get up to level 3. The Shamans are trying to retreat all the way back, summoning the Spirit Wolves to get an instant surround onto that water elemental and saving that low hit point Shaman in the back of the base. We also see some ensnares are now ready and on a line. Tauren Chieftain trying to fight up against all of these units as the Farseer trying to put in pressure again. Alright, that slow-moving water elemental may not be able to get away, especially with the ensnare right there. And that should give level 2 to the Tauren Chieftain. Yes, it does give level 2 to the Tauren Chieftain now. Tauren Chieftain most likely will be going for Stomp here. Could retrain to Shockwave later on if there are too many Spellbreakers. But Tauren Chieftain hasn't used that first ability or second level ability yet. HawK playing, well, classic human. And when I say classic, I do mean back in 2007. Quad towers at his expo, and now triple towers at his main base with masonry upgrade coming online. Those bases are going to be difficult to take out as we see another ensnare go down onto that water elemental. There's a purge there. Tauren Chieftain, are we going to, well, see another ensnare go down again as the, well, Murlocs chasing after all of these units, disrupting a bit of healing as the Tauren Chieftain, well, trying to get to level 3. Alright, Farseer purposely keeping his distance away, and this will give level 3 to that Tauren Chieftain now. Tower it up, yep. Murlocs getting taken down here. Ring of Protection +4. That's going to push the Tauren Chieftain into the 11 armor range. That is indeed very high. Normally only at 3 armor. Now up to 11 with a high strength. Well, that's going to make that Tauren Chieftain much more difficult to finish off. Tauren Chieftain still has not chosen any ability as of yet. We're seeing ensnares go down, and Hitman with, well, Hitman is just going for a very heavy, well, endurance or a Tauren Chieftain, and at some point, he may just want to get level 2 endurance aura if he doesn't know if he wants to go for Shockwave or Stomp. That way, the units are just at least moving that much more quickly around the map. Odd thing though, this rock golem still hasn't been cleared up, as we are also looking at the Farseer looking to try and protect this expo here. Tauren Chieftain going to show up from behind her. There's a purge onto the water elemental. Are we going to see a cancel? Yes, we do. We see a cancel right there. But at what cost, as the Archmage is going to be forced to try and retreat again? Tauren Chieftain perhaps could have used, well, potion or a faster endurance or a movement in order to catch up to these units, as this base will be established again. Alright, HawK is in a little bit of trouble, but he does have this extra base, at least for now. Meanwhile, there's still plenty of time to mine at the main bases, as the Mountain King now joining in on the fight. Dual arcane towers. We are looking at priests getting trained up. There goes a big Stormbolt onto a Raider right there. Chain Lightning backing around. There goes a Shockwave, as a little bit of damage could get added in. There's another Purge. Are we going to see a Water Elemental getting taken down? Yes, we do, as the Raider tries to retreat back out. There goes an Ensnare. Fireball finishes it off, but traded for a Mountain King, as the Tauren Chieftain is still able to get in plenty of attacks. Are we going to see another Shockwave there? Now up to level 4, as it's going to go ahead and Shockwave and Chain Lightning, ripping through multiple riflemen right there. Alright, the Grunts are getting taken down. We are seeing way too many guard towers, as the Tauren Chieftain optly goes for Shockwave to help deal with all of these towers here. Perhaps the Tauren Chieftain Shockwave will be able to hit those far-reaching towers and take them down. But do remember, we did see level 1 Masonry upgrade. I wouldn't be surprised if level 2 was also researched as well, getting those towers up to 600 hit points. Tauren Chieftain trying to charge its way on through. Raiders trying to retreat back. Shamans are getting in a couple of purges. Mountain King back out here on the battlefield. Archmage may be forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal. Yes, it does. Mountain King comes in with a Stormbolt, finishes off a Grunt, and all of those units are teleported now back to safety. All right, trying to, well, I'm trying to get up to full saturation back on that gold mine here. Hitman now being forced to retreat as the resurrection onto that Mountain King extremely fast since it was only at level 1. Yeah, a bit of a nice SimCity layout by HawK to be able to protect his units. There are dual Arcane Sanctums, but he will be going up against that Tauren Chieftain's Shockwave. And then, oddly enough, if the Farseer goes for level 3 Chain Lightning, it really limits HawK's abilities to try and go for a large... HawK's ability to try and go for Spellbreakers. When you have an army of Spellbreakers and Casters, the Chain Lightning doesn't hit the tanks. It will not randomly bounce on the tanks, and then it kind of exposes your backline a bit more if there is a way to arch to them. That may actually be a little bit of a downfall there. One of those situational things where, well, being immune to magic means that you can't get targeted by that Chain Lightning or randomly targeted by that Chain Lightning, which then opens up a little bit more problems. All right, we're looking at a potential engagement here. There's some Spellbreakers. Are we going to see a Shockwave? There's a quick Purge. Tauren Chieftain takes a Stormbolt. There's a Chain Lightning bouncing around. There's a Thunderclap. There's that Shockwave ripping on through, but not really hitting the back line Priests who have significantly less amount of hit points. Tauren Chieftain does need to line up another Shock there. Down to 91. There's that Shock right there. Chain Lightning bouncing through, but we're looking at the Raiders also absorbing quite a bit of damage as the Kodo Beast out here on the battlefield going to try to play a game of Hungry Kodo. Level 4 now on the Archmage. Tauren Chieftain now trying to back away, able to get away. Mountain King at level 2 with dual Circlets of Nobility, decent amount of mana, throwing down those Stormbolts and those Thunderclaps. All right, both sides trying to run up on more bases. Hitman sitting at this expo with only one peon in the gold mine. That's not going to be enough, obviously. And without the, well, economic equality, Hitman's going to be just constantly facing up against a larger army. With that, when facing constantly up against that larger army, it's hard to trade efficiently since, well, your opponent's army is larger and therefore can minimize their losses while maximizing yours. We're looking at this army here, Riflemen, 2-0 upgrades, Sorceresses still at the Initiate training. The Priests do have the Adept training here as we are still at Tier 1 and now training up some more Spellbreakers. Tauren Chieftain Farseer, both getting close to level 5. That could be a very big deal here as the Gargantuan Sea Turtle, the 744 Creep Camp, about to get cleared out. Tauren Chieftain needs mana and lots of it. I would not be surprised if the Tauren Chieftain does not use any abilities here. Gets up to level 5. Are we going to be looking at the Farseer getting up to level 5? No, we are not. The Tauren Chieftain stayed nearby enough. Therefore, the Tauren Chieftain took away some of that precious experience. We could be looking at perhaps a trailing Chain Lightning onto some of these units as the Kodo Beast doesn't have anything in its belly. And there's a tech swap to Blizzard. All right, so Blizzard Thunderclap slowing things down here. Farseer could have some bad days here. We're looking at more Blizzard raining down. Low hit point Grunt could get taken out. No, Stormbolt onto the Kodo Beast instead. And once that Scroll of Speed is done, well, that Grunt's going to be walking in slow motion anyways. All right, enough separation, though. Grunt is getting healed up. 59 supply compared to 73. Farseer really wants to get up to level 5 and should be able to get there. Come on, finish it off. Yeah, there we go. Gets up to level 5. It is going to be level 3 Chain Lightning with level 3 Shockwave. Meanwhile, HawK is playing a a very defensive game here, slowly building up. Gonna probably get into that low 70 supply that we're, or high 70 supply here, and then try and get a couple of more upgrades before rolling out. We see the masonry upgrades still sitting at level 1. More farms being placed down here as the Archmage Rifleman now going to try and test the waters. There's a shockwave ripping on through, but not getting to that back line, which is the key part here. Spellbreakers, Kodo Beast going to try and, well, chomp on some Riflemen and do in fact find it. Massive thunderclap against all of these grunts. There's a shockwave ripping on through. There's a chain lightning, but a scroll of healing used by the Archmage to counteract that nicely there. Kodo Beast are trying to just chomp in on all the meals. Multiple units are in the bellies of the beast here, as the Tauren Chieftain does also have a lightning shield, trying to rack up more damage. Standing next to the Tauren Chieftain with lightning shield is hazardous to your health. Tauren Chieftain, however, losing all of his precious mana as the Spellbreakers are attacking the Tauren Chieftain and now unable to get any additional shockwaves down. Blizzard Thunderclap is destroying the Orc army. Lightning shield and Chain Lightning destroying the human army, as the Tauren Chieftain still, well, grunt with lightning shield, nearly racking up enough kills here. 47 supply compared to 53. AOE is the damage of the name of this game here, as so much damage has been racked up. Farseer now back out, does have a potion of mana, could try and go after some of these units. We're looking at this one Spellbreaker about to get taken down. The lightning shield of the Tauren Chieftain actually finishing off a friendly unit there, as the Kodo Beast try to retreat back, and this fight is pretty much dead even now if you account for the units in the bellies of these Kodo Beasts. Tauren Chieftain picking up a Tome of Retraining, has a potion of lesser, 2 potions of lesser invulnerability. Stormbolt finds the Shaman, Shockwave finds the Sorceress, as both sides go back to their respective corners. What is going down here? There's that Tome of Retraining. It is now going to be for Stomp. And now Clarity Potion onto the Farseer. Clarity Potion for that Tauren Chieftain. Is Stomp going to work out all that well? That is going to be the question, as the Spellbreakers are immune to that, and perhaps Lightning Shield on that Tauren Chieftain will work out well. Tauren Chieftain also got much closer to level 6, so it makes sense for Hitman to try and dive with that Tauren Chieftain, go after some more units, and then perhaps get to level 6 and get that reincarnation. All right, a little bit of a level up there as you see the Kodo Beast finish digesting the rest of those units. Units trying to retreat back now. What is going to go down, go on to Ogre Magi, going to go ahead and easily get finished up. Not going to be able to retreat back around, gets taken down as we see a Wand of Mana stealing on that Tauren Chieftain there. That might be just what the Doctor ordered, or a Rifleman coming back the wrong way. Are they going to be able to catch up here, as we still see plenty of towers? Tauren Chieftain not going to be able to shockwave those towers or really get near it. Meanwhile, the Mountain King desperately wants to get up to level 5 and is also very close to there here, as we're looking at the Tauren Chieftain taking the Stormbolt to start off this battle. All right. Tauren Chieftain taking the Stormbolt, but still has decent amount of hit points. Reef Elemental is going to get taken down here. Mountain King perhaps going to try and go. There's a Blizzard. There goes an Ensnare. Kodo Beast wanted to try and chomp on something there, as this Kodo Beast walking a little bit through that Blizzard, ending up getting taken down, as we now see Wind Riders. There's a Chain Lightning bouncing around. Lightning Shield onto the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain now trying to perhaps head back around the other side, unable to get there, as Blizzard is still raining down with the Spellbreakers, able to absorb all of that damage up front. Kodo Beast could be in a little bit of trouble, down to 198 hit points. Tauren Chieftain does throw down a Stomp, Chain Lightning backing around. Tauren Chieftain gets up to level 6 and now does have that reincarnation, trying to test the waters here. All right, there is another Stomp, could go after all of these units. Chain Lightning bouncing around a couple more units, low on hit points. The Sorceress down to 27. Are we going to see the, come on, Rifleman taking 1 or 2 more shots? There, it gets taken out here as the units are still trying to retreat back. Meanwhile, Spellbreakers are going to go ahead and finish off here, and the sheer numbers of HawK's army may be too much. Tauren Chieftain going to try and fight back against all of these Spellbreakers again, but this is not a good position for him to be in. Farseer is a little bit away. We see another Spellbreaker getting taken down, but now a full surround here as the Tauren Chieftain tries to get a stomp onto the Archmage, but unable to do exactly that. Farseer sitting at 5, takes a potion of invulnerability to dodge a Stormbolt there as the Tauren Chieftain going after the units and able to finish off the Archmage at level 5. Farseer, however, still not at level 6 after that kill there as the Kodo Beast gonna end up, getting picked off by these Spellbreakers. Mass Spellbreakers is the problem here. No Taurens, and with no with no more grunts or not enough grunts in the front line to deal with these medium armor Spellbreakers, the Spellbreakers able to retreat back. So many grunts were taken out due to the Thunderclap and a Blizzard of HawK's army. As we see massive amounts of magic immune units still available for HawK. Those Spellbreakers nicely reinforced, and how do you deal damage to those magic immune units when you really only have the Tauren Chieftain and Farseer? Not enough bellies to try and keep these units alive as another stomp goes down, finishing out all of those priests. Perhaps that's the game plan. Use stomps to remove the supporting cast. All of these priests damage up those units as the Tauren Chieftain still trying to chase after the Archmage and perhaps more of these priests here. Another Thunderclap goes down. Multiple or large amounts of damage still racked up on all of these units as we now see level 6 on the Farseer. Farseer gets up to level 6, does have those Shadow Wolves as the main gold mines are now starting to mine out. 2 minutes of mining at the expo here. We still see 10 minutes and 10.5 minutes of mining for Hitman. So Hitman is going to be in a great spot as the Tauren Chieftain now needs to heal up as well. Interesting spot for Hitman. Hitman could have purposely killed his own Tauren Chieftain here to get up to maximum mana and then start that cooldown onto that reincarnation, making it look like it wasn't making it, and then playing with that Tauren Chieftain as though it still had reincarnation. Impossible to tell if it was available. Tauren Chieftain also going to be opening things up with a potion of invisibility, trying to perhaps stomp onto that back line with lightning shield support, taking down those units quickly with a strong chain lightning as well. Tauren Chieftain heading over here to the top right. Going to go after this Granite Golem creep camp. No, not going to test the waters. Doesn't want to make a mistake as, well, Hitman still currently just mining away here. The towers do not have that arcane insight, so it's not going to be able to spot those Shadow Wolves until they start an attack here. You can see the Shadow Wolves are trying to go after some of these peasants while they are going in between these bases. All right, one peasant taken down here. Gonna go ahead and just continue to clear up some of these easy creep camps. Huntsman taken down. All these getting cleaned up. Tauren Chieftain picking up a Tome of Strength here. Rune Bracers also on the Tauren Chieftain, so he'll be able to absorb some of that Blizzard damage and also that Stormbolt damage if the Mountain King tries to target him. Farseer has that Claws of Attack +8 and also using those War Song drums. The Kodo Beast, however, not using the upgraded drums. They're only a 10% increase in damage, not that 20% increase in damage that you can often get. All right, I don't know if Raiders have Pillage, but we're looking to test the waters here as we see a Stormbolt onto the Farseer. Farseer could have a very bad day. There is a Thunderclap, there is a Blizzard, and that is so much damage here. That is going to be a big problem. Farseer trying to retreat all the way back. Spellbreaker's trying to go straight after that Farseer. Tauren Chieftain trying to engage, but, well, Stomp is not going to do all that much, and just mass Spellbreakers is the problem. However, a bunch of peons getting cleaned up here. Farseer could try and finish off all of these units. Kodo Beast need to, well, chomp and dine on more of these Spellbreakers here as we now see level 6 on the Archmage. Chain Lightning bouncing around on the back. Kodo Beast going to get taken out. Those Shadow Wolves trying to take down those Spellbreakers, but a quick dispel magic by all of those casters, quickly getting the job done there as HawK ends up victorious. The Tauren Chieftain getting up to level 6 first was not enough to carry the team. Hitman with the higher overall hero score, unable to overcome the unit selection of HawK with all of those spellbreakers in that front line. Let me know what you guys thought about that game in the comments below.